right, hello everybody. Welcome back to the podcast. I am Aaron,
I'm Kenyon.
and here today for our second episode, we're going to be talking about establishing shots. So, Kenyon, based off of your experience with anime, how much do you focus on, visuals, art style, anything of that visual manner when you're watching one?
Yeah, definitely a lot. One reason is just because I really like an aesthetic. They'll always have that expression of don't judge a book by its cover, but I do that a lot because I do like a certain aesthetic. So when they really put their mind to the art style or establishing shots of different landscapes, it really just makes me praise that anime a lot more. So, yeah.
All right, yeah, and then on that note, the sort of clip we're going to be watching from today is from an anime named Your Name. So, without giving too much away, Your Name is essentially one of the highest, if not the highest grossing anime movie of all time in Japan. And the reason for this is because it was praised for its stellar visuals, its really good story, because its sort of staff and the animation team was absolutely just stacked to the brim. So yeah, today the clip is going to be from the beginning of that movie, the establishing shot of that movie, and we'll see how you like it. All right, let's get started. Yeah, I gotta wait for the credit cards to pass usually.
Yeah.
Let's settle in. Let's build.
Well, that lens flare. That's sick.
Yeah, pretty, right?
Definitely. I always wonder how that gets implemented into two-dimensional animation.
Oh yeah. All right, we're back in podcast mode. So, first off, again, what are your initial thoughts on that?
Yeah, I was saying before, there are many details that just make me praise the artist so much. They probably put many years perhaps into a production like that. In anime, sometimes I'll see backgrounds that they just look pretty generic and painterly, but the movements with the background, they just seem so fluid, so realistic. Some concepts too that are also usually seen in 3D stuff, like the lens flare I mentioned, effects like that just really emphasize how nice it looks. So yeah, that's a great establishing shot.
Yeah, good to hear, because I do really like this anime. Nice to hear some positive things about it. But one thing I want to ask you here is, based off just that establishing shot, what do you think the anime was based off? I mean, was on, or what genre was it a part of?
It's an interesting question. Based on that, it seems like it could go deep into the ideas of perhaps romance, probably something that really focuses on the relationships between main characters that could potentially just make the viewer very emotional.
Interesting. Yeah, that's interesting how that came to you, because this is actually a romance anime, a romance movie, yeah, but I initially thought, this was going to be some sort of supernatural, weird, plot twisty sort of, mystery sci-fi movie, something like that, right? But it's interesting how you immediately came to the conclusion of romance there. Was there anything specific about the scene that geared you towards that, or?
I guess there might be similar works that might be within maybe live action that might be similar to that aspect. But yeah, there was a moment there where I was also considering that prediction too. I see these shooting stars or meteors or whatever those were raining down. It's like, oh, is there like a conflict in relation to this? But when it comes to very realistic, almost beautiful looking art, they'll often present that with that type of story too.
Yeah.
So I figured it might be something like that.
So is it safe to say that you maybe thought it was a bit too pretty to be, you know, like an action or something like that. Okay, that's interesting. And then another thing I wanted to ask is, you know, compared to other anime establishing shots and environments and art styles, sort of just visually, what were your thoughts on this compared to that? You know, like compare and contrast.
Yeah, definitely. As I mentioned before, a lot more work put into this. There are some that I've seen where it looks nice, it works, but it doesn't have that really defining factor of great art style. It'll just look like, I wouldn't say necessarily generic, but something that just doesn't really fixate my eyes in that moment. It might take me into that environment less than like something I just saw. So it definitely helps. Yeah.
All right, interesting. Good to hear. And once again, for the last question, would you watch Your Name?
Yeah, I've only seen just like the first minute. I didn't see like much that was explained, but it was, I'd say, captivating enough for me to want to keep watching, give it another couple minutes, and really see if I want to go through with it. But even if it's not my type of genre or thing, I would definitely, at the very least, watch it for how like spectacular.
Yeah,
it was.
visually just hooks you in, right?
Definitely.
All the pretty lights. Yeah. Alrighty, and that is unfortunately all the time we have for today. I'll be seeing you next time on this podcast while we talk about another anime genre.
Sounds good.
Alright, thank you everyone for watching, and we'll see you next time.